don't know. I just felt like being crazy. Hi, anyone and everyone. This is Kim, the Humble Hermit from Come As You Are Oracle. I'm going to do the collective for today, Tuesday, March 11th, 2025. You may follow me on the book, the tuck, the tube, the lemonade, the blue sky social, the fan base, the Insta, or not. Totally up to you. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it doesn't fit, don't make it fit. If some of it fits, chef's kiss. We love that. God's kiss. We love that. Whatever doesn't fit, just leave it on the table for someone else. We don't want you taking on energy that wasn't meant for you. We're going to use the Urban Crow Oracle. I hope everybody has been having a fabulous day. We have a guy in our department. I think he joined our department like in November. And he came from another department. He's on light duty. He's supposed to be having knee surgery. And yeah. And I'm 44. So he's probably like 50, maybe. Somewhere. A little younger, a little older. Single, 2 dogs. I think he lives in Zion, which is not that far from me. I go through there sometimes when I go to the lake in Kenosha. And he asked me, I was getting water, and oh, sorry. I thought I silenced my phone. Hold on one second. Let me silence this. I was getting some water while our system was down for a few minutes, and he comes up to me, and I looked at him, I said, this water is mine, you're not getting any. And he laughs, he goes, no, I don't want the water. He's like, but I heard you could get me a lid. So my work gives out free water bottles to the employee. You're supposed to be allowed one a year. Typically, you can go into the office and you can ask and they'll give you one. Like they don't, as far as I know, they still don't keep track. Maybe they do. I don't know. It's a Camelback water bottle. It's got a straw. It's got like a sippy, a sippy mechanism thing, like where you suck it through, it comes through the straw. Anyway, those bottles cost probably like $20-$25. They have their logo put on them. And each employee is supposed to be allowed a new one every year. So he says to me, I heard you can get these lids for these bottles. And it's a different lid. It's just a screw-on lid. And then it's got a screw-on cap over just a spout. There's no rubber thingies to suck through. There's no straw, nothing like that. All the little things that take a lot of effort to clean and get disgusting with germs, like there's nothing there. This lid is easy to clean, and it's made by Camelback, so it's for the water bottle. And I said, yeah, I can get you one. I said, you want me to order you one? I'll order you one. And he goes, yeah. He's like, where do you get them from? I'm like, Amazon? And he goes, oh, I thought you got them from here. And I was like, no. I was like, you want one? I'll order you one. And he's like, well, I want 2 because he has an extra water bottle, so he wants an extra one. And I said, fine, I'll order them for you. And he goes, how much is it? And I said, nothing. And he goes, what do you mean nothing? And I said, I'm going to buy you your lids. And he goes, no. He's like, I'm going to pay for them. And I was like, well, you can try, but it's probably not going to happen. I said, I'll order the lids. So I ordered the lids when I went on break. And at the end of the day, I went up to him at his station and I said, I ordered the lids. I said, are you going to be here Thursday? And he said, no, I'll be here Friday. I said, okay, I'll be here Friday. I said, I'll bring you the lids. And he goes, well, how much do I owe you? And I'm like, it's like $21.46. I said, but don't worry about it. And he looks at me and he goes, $21.46 for 2 lids? And I looked at him and I said, yeah, they're like $9.98 a piece plus tax. He goes, $10 for a lid? And I looked at him and I said, Bob, don't worry about it. Like, I got you. Like, I got it. And he goes, no, I'll pay for it. He's like, I didn't think they'd be that expensive. And he goes, how much is the water bottle? And he holds up our water bottle. And I said, well, if you order it on Amazon, I said, depending, because, prices vary on there sometimes. I said, it's anywhere from $20 to $25 for a water bottle. I said, I'm assuming Amazon buys them in bulk, so they probably get a discount. But, it's still an expense for them. And he's like, I can't believe that the water bottle costs that much. He's like, I'm surprised that they give them for free. And I said, well, technically, you're only supposed to get one a year for free. I said, but a lot of people friggin' get like 10 a year for free. Anyway, it was hilarious. I thought it was hilarious. I'm pretty sure he's not going to pay me for the lids, which is fine, because I can afford $20. It's not going to kill me. And everybody else that's up there that I got lids for, I bought their lids. I didn't take any money for them. Like one lid a month is it's not gonna break my bank. I'm a giver and a lover, But yeah, I'm pretty sure he's not gonna pay me. But I was laughing afterwards because I'm like, what do people think that things cost? Like, things are not getting cheaper. Things are getting more expensive. And actually, I was really surprised that the lids were only like $10 a piece plus tax. Because I bought one for one of the other guys at the end of February, and it was $13 with 13 something with tax. So the price actually went down. So, like, that surprised me. I did not expect that. And I told him that too. I said it kind of fluctuates because when I bought mine last year, I only paid like $7 or $8 for mine. Like, I think it was like the beginning of the summer last year. So, yeah. Whatever. Bob. He made me laugh. $10 for a lid? Oh, all right. Enough of that. We got one on the table. Finally, I'm yappering. Yappering? Yammering? Hammering? Or something. We got 3 on the table. Five on the table. Those all fluffed out at once. Ooh, yep, this is what I think it is. This is interesting. Okay, 2 more shuffles. We got 9 on the table. It's nice out today. It's a little like windy, a little chillier. It's about 50 degrees instead of like 60 something. But whatever. I opened a few windows. Last shuffle. It was warm in the warehouse. I couldn't use a fan. My fan was broken. They put a fan at every station, and they must have forked out. They're nice fans. They must have forked out anywhere from $50 to $100 for each fan. You're talking about 9 stations downstairs in induction. You're talking about 14 pick stations. And you're talking 14 pack stations. 20. So you're looking at 37 fans. And they're a good size of fan. You plug them in, and then they have like a pull cord, and there's 3 speeds. Second shift, I don't know if I've ever told you guys about second shift. Second shift is horrendous. They literally like break anything and everything. They all must have like the same kind of hate chromosome in them or something. I don't know, because like they all have anger issues or something, because they literally, I'm not kidding. They will break anything and everything, and they're never held accountable. That nobody in the warehouse ever says, "Hey, you have to pay for that from your paycheck." And they should. And I would be the first one to not say that, because I think that's bullshit. We're talking about billions of dollars that this company makes every year. But when you have a staff that consistently just breaks shit, like literally they put the fans on, um I think it was like spring of, was it, no, it wasn't last year, it was the year before. It was like spring, summer, early summer of 2023. They put these fans on all the stations. Within weeks, almost all of them were broken, or they pulled the cords out of the fans so you couldn't turn them on and off. You had to unplug it. So they went through and they replaced them again. And they're like, please don't, don't mess, don't mess with it. Last summer, which was a little more than a year after we got the fans, there were 2 stations in the packing area that had no fans. And the people in charge of the warehouse let those 2 stations go without a fan because they didn't want to replace them, because they knew once they replaced them, they were going to be broken. They replaced one of those fans like early fall of last year, so like August, September. I kid you not, by December, that new fan that they had just installed in August, September, that new fan was lying on the floor because they literally ripped the fan off the metal component that it hung on and threw it on the floor. Anger issues. Seriously. I'm not kidding. And I talked to some of these people. I know some of these people. All right, we got 10 cards at the bottom of the deck. So anyway, I was warm in the warehouse, and a couple of the ladies were like, "Is it warm in here?" I'm like, "Yes, it's warm in here." Territory. It's either warm or it's freezing. Survival. There is no in between. We got preparation. We got caching, caching, caching. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm saying it like that. I'm picturing like when you have a disaster and they like sound the alarms within the city or whatever, and then you'll hear like voiced recordings and it sounds like it's just looping. That's what I was picturing in my head. Anticipation, balance, distance. I might be too happy to do this read, y'all, because this is kind of a sad, I think this is kind of a sad read. Upheaval, and bottom of the deck, anomaly. And I do think that this is technically the energy of a person, but I don't think it's like, if you followed me last year, subscribed last year, I had like, I don't know, a month and a half, 2 month long series about someone that was the anomaly. I think that's this person, but it's not the same. I'll explain it to you. So, feminine, masculine, take out resonates. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna have a sip of my electrolyte drink. I think all the electrolyte is at the bottom. So here's the deal. Whoever this person is, I'm assuming it's not you, but it could be. It could have been a situation you were involved in the past or present or maybe in the future. I don't know. It's not like this is anything unique. Like people go through this. Um so this is so with the territory card, I'm not I'm getting two things. I'm getting territory, yes, like land, like placement, okay? But I'm also getting like community, which makes sense. Whoever this person is, um, they were a part of a community. Whomever whomever this community um, they set themselves apart. It's like a clique, you know. Just because you're in a community doesn't necessarily mean like it's just that community, right? Like when you have a group of friends, it's not that you only ever talk to that group of friends, not usually. Usually you still talk to other people that you wouldn't consider a part of that group, right? This is cultish. This is cultish. I'm not going to lie. Like a group, a community that sets themselves apart. I wouldn't go so far as to say like, sorry, my nail is funky. I wouldn't go so far as to say like they have a compound or anything. I'm not really getting that. I'm getting more in like they just physically set themselves apart from other people, other groups, other communities. So like this would be someone like let's say this is a group of like 30 people and they're all friends, possibly relatives, right? It's possible. Um they don't talk to anybody else. Like they don't really let others in. It's not that they don't talk to other people. I mean, obviously, if you go to the grocery store and you run into somebody, you're going to talk to somebody. I just mean like whatever this community is, whatever they do, whatever they're involved in, they don't allow others in. It's not like okay, okay. I just heard it's not like it's Oprah's book club. I was not a part of Oprah's book club. I think I bought one of those books once. Uh I was gifted Eat Pray Love, I think. Somebody gave me that for like Christmas or my birthday or something. But I know I bought a book that was Wally Lamb maybe. She's Come Undone. I think that was an Oprah book. I used to have it. I used to have a copy of it. But I wasn't I never watched Oprah. Oprah was in Chicago. I was born here. I never went to the show. I never really followed along. Every once in a while I would watch it, like if it was on and I was bored. Um I never really been a fan of Oprah's. Uh and obviously now there's, theories about Oprah. But yeah, it's like whatever community this person was in, it's like closed off. And maybe other people don't really realize like they're a clique, like they're a cult, like they're a community. People would maybe just look at them and be like, oh, that's Ted and Samantha and all their friends. They hang out at Ted's place every Friday night. I think there's 30 of them. I think there's 20 of them. Like it just gives off that vibe. And I don't I was gonna say I don't feel anything sinister. Like I'm not seeing anything sinister that this group would be involved in. Um, but I kind of like as soon as I thought that in my head, I thought, well, is there anything sinister? And I was immediately answered with I was immediately answered with, we don't need to talk about that at this time. Whoever this person is, this is someone that's surviving. Like, this is someone, they're not thriving, they're surviving. So whatever is going on in this community, this friend group, this cult, this clique, whoever this person is, like they're not okay. Like there's something wrong there. And again, I'm just gonna say it because I said it already. Like, I didn't really pick up on anything sinister, but that's not to say that someone could get involved in like a cult type situation or a clique or whatever, and not feel uncomfortable. People feel uncomfortable and out of place all the time. People feel threatened all the time, even when somebody else would be like, "Oh, what are you talking about? Like, I was there, I felt fine." Whoever this person is, they're preparing to leave this cult, this group. They're hiding this. They're hiding this from the community, from the cult, from the group. However I'm just gonna call it community, but it could be any of those things. It could be all of those things, right? They can all fall under the same umbrella. This person is hiding it. They don't want anybody to know that they're gonna leave. And you could say, well, it's easy, just leave. I've said that before. Like when I had what happened with my ex best friend, like I just grabbed my shit and I got the fuck out of there, and I never looked back. But if you're talking a larger group, or if you're talking possibly family, friends that you've known a long time, you might not be able to just pack up your shit and go. You might not have anywhere else to go. You could be sleeping on one of these people's couches or something. Like, people. I mean, I'm just going to be honest, like, in my mind, my safety and my health, my emotional, my mental, my physical, my sexual health, that all comes before anything else. So if this was me, I probably would do what I already did the one time before. I'd pack up my shit and I would go. And I would not give a second thought to it. And I don't care who would question me. Like, when I left the ex best friend and I didn't look back, I've told you guys this before. I talked to her 3 times after that. And then that was it. I cut the cord. I didn't have anything to do with her. And that was this all happened between September 16th and I want to say like the end of October, beginning of November. I can't remember exactly the last time I talked to her. Um, when I left that situation, I back then I was very surprised that like her sister didn't reach out to me to ask me what happened. Some of her closer friends didn't reach out to me to ask what happened. But the funny thing is like after going through, starting a healing journey and reliving all of those memories, those nightmares, like when I look back on it from now, like as I am now, why would her sister contact me? Why would her friends contact me? First off, if her sister knew anything, her sister was in on everything. Okay. Like, if her sister knew that she sexually assaulted me, she was in on it. It was a plan. If if her sister knew that she set me up with the guy friend, only to try and take him back, only to try and, well, originally they were trying to get me into some polyamorous thing. Then she knew about it. She was probably involved in that. And if she didn't know anything, if she wasn't involved, she would fall in line with the other friends, because the ex-best friend would not want to admit that they sexually assaulted anybody. They wouldn't want to admit that they set their best friend up with some guy who could have been their secret lover, could have been their baby daddy from their kid, trying to get me into a polyamorous relationship, trying to set me up with him so she could just steal him back so she looks good. Like, why would she tell all those crazy things to any of her friends or her family? She would look insane. She is insane. I've said before, she needs help. But, like, looking back on it, it's like she never would have told them that unless they were in on it. They wouldn't know. They would have no idea. They would just think that her and I fell out of touch and that was that. Or she could have made something else up. Like, I did something to her. I hurt her or something. Who knows? Who knows? But it took me a long time to realize that none of them ever reached out to me because they probably have no idea what happened. None. I mean, they could now if they ever looked at my blog or looked at my TikTok or looked at my Instagram or came on here and looked at my YouTube, watched my documentary on my other channel. They could know now. Not that they would believe me. I'm sure they would not. Although if you really sat down and like analyzed everything, any sane human being would have to admit that she has issues. Like, just like, without knowing that she's a sexual predator, without knowing that she's insane, you would have to recognize that she has issues. She has anger issues, mental health issues. Like, yeah. And these are just things I'm thinking of that she did in front of friends and family. Like, things that you would be like, cringe-worthy things. But again, I was talking about this, was it yesterday or the night before? Again, her family and her friends cover for her because she's disabled, because she's specially abled. People feel like they need to cover for her and protect her. And the funny thing is if you ever had a conversation with her and asked her, people don't love me, people don't take care of me, people don't protect me, I'm always on my own, da 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 da. Yes, like I feel like I feel like she did involve certain people in her life that did not do those things, for sure. Um, because they probably realize, like, she's a grown ass adult, she should know how to take care of herself. I realize somebody disabled technically might not be able to take care of themselves, but people will look at it like, if you can't take care of yourself, you find somebody to take care of you. And whether or not people protect you or take care, like hold place for you in their heart or whatever the case may be, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you're still an adult. You still need to take care of business. Like, at the end of the day, I'm still an adult. I have to go to work. I have to pay my bills. I have 4 cats to feed. Do you know? Just because she's disabled, it doesn't give her a privilege to be above all of that. You're still an adult. You still need to function within society. Unless you're some kind of heiress, you need to have a job, you need to, bring in money, all the basics. And if you need somebody to take care of you, you need to pay somebody to take care of you. The funny thing is like, really, when I think about it, like, it's a very martyr-like attitude. It's a very narcissistic-like attitude, because she would literally say like, oh, nobody loves me, nobody takes care of me, nobody protects me. That's not true. All of her friends and family know that she has issues: an alcoholic, a drug addict, anger issues, mental health issues, and they all cover for her. Every single one of them. It's like they all have been put under a spell. And I've thought about that too. I've thought about that too. But like for me in that situation, I got up, I grabbed my shit, and I left. And I would do it all over again. And I would do it all over again even if I had nowhere to go. Even if I had nothing waiting for me at home. My ass would have been out that door and I would not look back. I think this person is just afraid of his friends, his family, right? Because friends can be family too, if this isn't actual family. They're just afraid of being conned and manipulated into staying. They don't want to stay there because they don't feel like they're living there. They, like I said, they feel like they're on survival mode. This person is anticipating afterwards, like when they get away, putting distance between themselves and this community, finding balance for themselves. Sorry, I rattled on about my own personal thing, but it kind of, it always seems to resonate. I don't know. This person knows that they're going to balance themselves out eventually when they're away from this community. They know that with the SOAR card, like they're going to be able to do things for themselves. They'll be able to go somewhere, find a new direction for their life, right? They know that this is going to leave this community in upheaval, because whoever this person is to this community, they're one of a kind with the anomaly card. So I don't know, like, if everybody in this community has like a job, or like just an example, like if I was in an artist community, I would probably want to be like in charge of music, um or I'd want to be like paint a painter, or teach painting or something like that, because I love to paint. Writing, I love to write, so I would, want to write or teach writing, or you know what I mean. Like, everybody in this community might have had a persona, and this person did too. And when they leave this community, I just heard they're not going to be whole. So maybe they all have like a part to play. They all have a job to do. For some reason, that drink doesn't taste right. I'm also looking too, this distance card, right? Like they want to put distance between themselves and this community. But you know what's funny is like this crow is set apart, and then there's still two in the background. This person feels as though these people are always going to be after them. Figuratively, metaphorically. Or like they're always going to try and draw this person back. Oh, pardon me. I don't know why I'm getting to when I look at the anomaly card. Like this person had a part to play, a role to play. So if they leave, it's going to cause an issue because like they only, again, maybe they only write books and everybody else does something else. Or this is the person that is into culinary arts and nobody else cooks. Like there's something about this person with the white crow. It's like I want to say they have an innocence about them, but it's not even really innocence. It's like mm, I just heard clean soul. Like maybe this person was supposed to be divine, like like a blessed individual, and then maybe when they got hooked up with this community, I just heard yes. When they got hooked up with this community, like it changed their karma. Bubbles, is that you? That's Bubbles. You want in? Yeah, I know, you're gonna drive me nuts. Yeah, like this person's life would have went in a completely different direction if they hadn't gotten involved with this community. And that makes sense because the survival card, they feel like they're in survival mode. I don't think this person ever really felt like that before. Now, granted, we all have, things happen to us. What do we always say? Shit happens, right? That doesn't necessarily mean you're receiving bad karma. But this person recognizes, like, it took them a while to see that once they got with this community, their their situation changed. Like I said, they felt like they were in survival mode. Whereas before, if they were more blessed, if they were divinely guided, things probably came a little bit easier to them. They felt nonchalant about it, about life. Like, oh, it's okay, it's fine. What happens, happens. And after the fact, this person realizes that they had some type of effect on them because they're no longer divinely guided. It makes sense because that's why this person is anticipating or happy about getting away from this community and finding balance, putting distance between them. moving forward in the right direction. That makes sense. And again, it you guys take how it resonates for you, because it doesn't necessarily mean that this community is like, like red rummers or violators or anything like that. They just could be, people that don't put in an effort, to contribute to humanity. People that, maybe they lie and steal, maybe they steal to get by. I mean, that would cause you to incur karma. That could be another reason why this person feels like they're in survival mode. If they refuse to participate in stealing from others so that they have gain, this person would maybe, feel like they're in survival mode because they don't have anything to live off of. And maybe that's part of the community, is everybody brings in their share. If you don't bring in a share, then you don't, you know, like if everybody doesn't bring in a food to the table, then you don't get to eat, You know what I'm saying? There's this movie, um it's called August Rush, I think, with Carrie Russell and Jonathan Rhys Meyers, and I cannot remember the kid's name, but he was in all kinds of stuff as a little kid. And Robin Williams was in it. I think it was one of his last movies. Um, Carrie Russell and Jonathan Rhys Meyers. He's a musician, and she's a classical musician, and they end up meeting and have a one night stand, and she gets pregnant and has this baby, but her father tells her that she lost the baby, that it was stillbirth or whatever. Well, that's not true. She had the baby. He adopts the baby out. The baby ends up going into like foster care or something like that. And he gets shuffled around as a little kid. And then um he ends up living on the streets, and he meets a family, which is a whole bunch of kids. And I'm pretty sure it was Robin Williams. Is like the dad of all the homeless kids, of all the runaway kids. And like every day they go out, they don't go to school, right? They're all homeless runaways, have no home. They all go out and they grift to bring money back, to bring food back, stuff like that. And if you don't bring something back, you don't get to partake. And I'm pretty sure it was Robin Williams, the dad. That was the rules. And the kid would go out and play music and stuff and try to get people to give him money and stuff to take back. And then Carrie Russell found out, that that the kid lived or whatever, and she set about trying to find the kid. And then I can't remember if she contacts Jonathan Rhys Meyers or they just end up meeting by accident. I can't remember. Um, but they both end up looking for their kid, and I mean, I'm assuming happily ever after they end up together as a family. But it was a good movie. It really was a good movie. But it kind of this community kind of gives like that vibe, like maybe this person didn't contribute what they were supposed to be contributing, so like they didn't get to partake of anything that was going on, if that makes sense. I think I'm gonna leave it there. I think I'm gonna cleanse the cards and pull a reading again tomorrow and see if it's like similar, to see if it's like a continuing, or see if it's like a precursor or something. Because There's gotta be more. I hope the message resonated with you. 45 freaking minutes, and most of that was me jibber jabbering. I hope it resonated with you. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope, if anything, you found it entertaining. I hope everybody has a lovely evening, day, whatever the case, wherever you are. I'll talk to you later. Bye.